All right. This is the second restart. So let's see how we go this time, kids. Hopefully it all pans out. Um. Anyway, people. Um. What was I getting to do? That's what I was doing. I had identified what color we were going to do on some of the underside bits here. So, let's see. Now, let's get you first. Let's do the light thing. Yeah. Looking to do. Ah, that's what these are. So we're looking for D15. Yeah. Anyway, I reckon that one again. Don't see grey last time on. D 45. On that end. Ah, no worries, man. Come on, why are you hiding? 26. Five and 30. Five. No. So 15. 39, 40. Let's see, 40. Ah, there are two 26. That one will be on there. I see what they've done with that. There's actually much as what they've done. They've oh hey B, man, how you doing? Um, they've well, put it on the same stuff effectively, but on two different sprues. You've got one side, the other side. In that regard, what they've done is to try and aim for simplicity in that regard, as far as it goes, which makes some degree of sense. To be said, more power to them. Yeah, means that. Ah, indeed, here they are. It's just that easy. So once you've the other thing about it as well is once you've found them through exactly where through. Um, that's good. I I had another little hiccup while I was trying to get the stream going again. So if you look on the thing, there's actually another one of 12 minutes, and there I can't remember. That's it. I didn't have the Twitch chat up because, of course, I'm on other platforms. So as I went to do that, I inadvertently closed off the program that does do my multiple platform sort of deal. But then I had to start again. Oh, that bad. That one largely. Also do just to finish that sort of tell us for that section. C. So I'm looking for C40. C40. Correct. you go. That's all the ones from that stage there. Painted, clean brush. The Twitch remains where the platform where I get most of my views. It's interesting. I'm getting slowly more views on Twitter. They seem to be more slowly growing. I don't know how many I actually get on Instagram. It's a curious thing because with Instagram, once you finish your stream, it doesn't stay on there. It sort of just ends, which you don't really know as to how much you've actually, well, audience achieved. You get various likes on your post announcing it. But hey, now next, I'm thinking, and I do sometimes. It's true. Look at this housing here. Something oily steel. All steel. So hit it with a bit of rust. If I hit it with a bit of dirt and a bit of mud. Here's a plan. Now, hoist up, however. And 14 would also, if 14 goes on the other side. And 17. Do them all with the oily steel. Yeah, you can. With Instagram, you need a piece of software, not software, it's a program called Yellow Duck. And what Yellow Duck enables is basically, okay, here's how I do it. And this is what I did this by the tried and tested method of watching YouTube vids. That's where I got this idea from. Goes out the how-tos. Basically, it goes like this. You want to do the 5 platform thing like I'm doing, what you do is you need to get this thing called Restream. Now that, depending on how far you want to go with that as well, by the way, depends on how many platforms you can utilize. But that enables you, therefore, to stream out to your multiple platforms. With Instagram, like I said, you need this thing called Yellow Duck. And every time you want to use that in a stream, you need to update the settings in the encoder, because there's an encoder that goes with Restream. It's pretty easy, actually. It really is. It's a wee bit fiddly, but ultimately, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, there you go. you can indeed stream on. As to, I'll be perfectly straight with you. As far as on them as because I did it one big hit. To take Restream takes care of all the stream keys for you. You don't need to worry about any of that. It does it all for you. You just put the Restream into. I use OBS. All you do is Restream browser. Streaming it to, and there it takes care of business for you. Now the downside, I think, on the encoder there's about a 2-second delay between ah hey Papa, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, I was just explaining to Minpins about the nuances of multi-platform streaming as I've experienced them. Yeah, but you can indeed stream on all of these platforms. You just need the right bits and bobs with it. If in doubt, YouTube is your friend. Almost nothing you can't find on YouTube. Right, now. That one. Basing some of these colors loosely on what I've seen of the underside cars. Yep, I've done time. It's amazing how shiny some parts actually, well, not shiny, but how them, if you look at a transmission box, it's very dull, like thin, shiny. By the time I've hit them with plenty of grime, doing a bit of rest. No, I don't have any issues with the lids of them breaking. The only issue I actually have with Vallejo, um, as a paint is that every now and again you need to get a pin and wiggle it around because it's gotten blocked. However, I would say this stuff, liquid mask, look, I find it a useful product, but it got so clagged I ended up having to snip. I'm not quite sure I'm still able to access. Yeah, so basically I'm going to have to do some, yeah, that on this one, the liquid mask, it's a bitch. Beyond that, I generally have a really good run with them. I have had. Boring in Australia? I don't know. Don't know how exciting it is in other parts of the world. Tell you one thing about Australia. Contrary to popular belief, we do not throw shrimps on barbies. I've been asked that question. So. Well, it's probably not so much. Yeah, look, in the case of the liquid mask, I'm of the opinion that it's probably actually just the nature of the mask itself. I think it's a bit, in that instance, I think you're a bit damned if you do, damned if you don't. You've just got to work with the deal of having to puncture the seal every time, which I will concede is probably a bit less than optimal. But hey, that does fall heavily into the category of, let's face it, guys, that's that big. There are worse, far worse fates in this world. After all. Hey, let's see. Good example. Four of them, that's a bit of a harsh outcome. Um, oh, now there's a notion, by golly. So, like, okay. I call them drawing pins. You might call them drawing pins or thumbtacks, depends on. This is one of those. It varies from one um, country to another. But is that the ones you use, like drawing pins and thumbtacks and shit? Because they, I can see that would be a good option. It would seal the. They would be wide enough to seal that, and you'd be able to get your fingers underneath and just yoink. That makes sense. I can see where you're coming from. Um, Now, what do I want to hit next, people? Ah, these chassis, yes. Yes. Not chassis, they're axles, rather. With a bit chunky for a punky with the brush I use. We're doing all right now. By which I mean time-wise. Some stage, probably in the next half an hour, maybe an hour, I'm going to taking a break to get myself some brekkie. Then I will back for the second session, in which we'll I can do some tackling. Sewing pin. I used to say, here's a bit of food is for the weak. That's beautiful. I used to say that about sleep. Once upon a time, I used to work a lot of hours. But plenty of other things. So when do you think the sleep is for the week? Been around that time. I was getting kind of crabby through a lack of sleep. I imagine. Yeah. Better. All right. Thinking of with regards to fooders for the week. Part of me's flash of that Monty Python sketch. Oh, food! What we would have given for food. Ah, they build your kit all without all after being forced to work all day down pit. Our parents would dance on our graves. Alrighty. um, you know, actually at that stage, I was, this is no bullshit, I was so strictly into my diet. Look, Vegemite's a convenience thing. I don't reckon I actually was even touching this stuff. I was like heavily into all the, I was right onto my diet. I had very finely calibrated so as I could put on um, a pound a week. I was amassing shred a kilo a week when I was cutting, or so 2 pounds a week when I was cutting. To do that, you got to be right onto your diet. It was sadly Vegemite forever much, however much it makes you harden the fuck up. Um, yeah. I used to eat ridiculous amounts. The ridiculous amounts I'm talking. Um, 6,000 calories a day, every pounds. Well over, you goes to pound something, don't you? Um, so yeah, yeah, big unit, yeah, moving that around pretty fast, pretty regular basis. Depends a whole lot. Waste. Uh, Starting to get some interesting bits. Alrighty. Okay. A different colour again on these bits here. Oh, wait, apart from brush. And the sooner I get all this undercarriage stuff done, this actually shouldn't take too long as a kit because the bulk of it is one colour. Oh, well, there it is in front of what I'm looking. Once you've got all this sort of stuff done, not really too much more, really. Then you just put all that together. Not that hard. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, as far as the paint job though, it's just the one colour. Overall, it's olive drab. British olive drab as to how that differs from the US olive drab, I do not know. Now, um, dark grey. Be a good colour. I didn't get that, did I? Oh, you daft, you warble. Yeah. Moment. Dark grey is a really nice, as it would suggest, dark colour. Almost black. Dark grey, found you. The wind pins. I wasn't on a diet of strict Vegemite diet. I was mostly on a strict diet of opposing front row forwards. I tell you, they're crunchy in milk. D24, both D24s, both the C44s, and we got some. Okay. This brush is fantastic. Now, this one. I didn't play against the All Blacks, mate. I'd have liked to. But it's a fact. Although the year I played in, we actually had an All Black strip. Actually looked like All Blacks. Yeah. I remember once running on the field, it was funny. Because some guys, there was some nearby, there were some people playing on a soccer match. As we were getting ready to boogie out onto the field. Some of these are both going, oh, actually heard about All Blacks. Or at least it amused the fuck out of me. It'd be game for day too. All sorts of nasties to people. Hey. I'm being blind. Um, there was a Wallaby team from 1999 through to about 2001, 2002 maybe, and they are widely regarded as one of the best, certainly the best team of the 90s. They were, they had some amazing players back then. They were captained by a guy named John Eales, who who it was this giant of a man physically, 6'10" was there, and they had a number of like world best in the world players, key positions, and once you've got that, not much to be said about it. They they beat everybody. They the World Cup, Bledisloe Cup, beat everyone. I can see why they'd probably get the team of the decade in the 90s. Had a couple of players I really liked. One was a guy named Owen Finnegan, who, must be said, was a prick of a man. But in his position, which was blindside flanker, being a prick of a man is a good thing. Who else they have? They had a halfback, George Gregan. He played alongside a guy named Steve Larkham. They're also widely regarded as a pairing. Best ever, certainly for Australia, arguably the world ever. That's again as a pairing. A guy named Dan Carter, who they, yeah, it's a tough call between him and Larkham. He's a Kiwi, is Carter, but There you go. Wow. That I'm surprised on. I would have thought 2010 to 2019, All Blacks straight out. No ifs, no buts, All Blacks. Falls into the category of you don't really want to admit that an Australian, but yeah, that for the past 10 years, um, the All Blacks. Well, actually, no, not the last year they have the dominant against it as um, certainly from I would suggest 2010 to 2017, 18. There was the All Blacks and then there was Daylight. And they were taking out everyone. Um, could be based on stats. The Wallabies do have and have had some quite spectacular players. Yeah. Yeah, look, yeah, they are. It's a pretty simple, yeah, they are. I would love to be able to turn to you and say, nah, mate, Wallabies, the All Blacks have definitely got the goods. The there's a lot of things now. Not so much lately though. Like I said, it's been a curious couple of years. There is a definite. In fact, the All Blacks aren't number one in the world at the moment. Number one in the world is South Africa. Um, Number two is France. Um, I think the All Blacks are currently number three. Um, can rest assured, their fans are paying for blood as a result. Um, they're used to being number one. They expect to be number one. Get number one, they're not happy. Um, Now, this is to give you an idea as to how big a deal it actually is for the Kiwis. If the All Blacks aren't playing well, it affects their economy. I'm not shitting you here. It has that flow-on effect to their entire national psyche. Um, if the All Blacks are playing badly, I'm told the domestic violence rate increases. Yeah, get your noggin around that anytime you. Um, that'll tell you a lot straight away about how and their entire schooling system, no less, even features rugby in its structures um, from primary age. As they're able to walk, it's they learn how to catch and pass, catch and pass. A mate of mine is from New Zealand, but when he was a kid, he just, oh, you're going to the weigh-in? But had no idea what you reckon this weigh-in thing's for, what it was about. Um, but they were already lining up people to work out what position they'd put them in as they got older. I'll tell you a lot right there. Let's see. Overall, as far as this undercarriage detailing goes. Yeah, so I read an English journal over to New Zealand to see what it was they did differently to the rest of the world with regards to how it drove their success as a team, da da da. And apparently, he went to, I think it's Auckland Grammar. Yeah, we got women's rugby over here, mate. You'll find there's a lot of women's rugby played around the world. And just stating the obvious, there's some hard ass bitches out there, man. They will fuck you up. Well, might not fuck me up, but they'll certainly have a good go at any other chick who gets on the way of them on a rugby field. There's one chick who plays for England. She's hilarious. I've seen her absolutely pile drive this poor other chick who was coming. She caught the ball gets kicked, she caught it, she just gets a good head of steam up and absolutely butchered this chick in front of her who's just left in this heap. Fantastic. But yeah, no, the Kiwis have it, and so do we. It's pretty common these days. Indeed, women's rugby is now at the point of where it's becoming professional. Yeah, some of the hits that are dished out are pretty savage. They take no prisoners. Hey, why the hell should they? You're on a rugby field, you ain't there to win a friend. Certainly not in my experience, anyway. For taking my ex, so I was manager of a rugby team for a little while. And, I got to the they, of course, all the finals games that are being played is including women's final. Yeah. It, are you for real? What you're looking at is both marrying women, two ones, full speed into each other and not really giving rats. Comes to pushing phase, personal safety. What I was saying was, yeah, that's how you do it. It was, wow, kind of scary. That's it. But yeah, I was going to say the English journo who went over to New Zealand. He went to Auckland Grammar. Now, Auckland Grammar, as you'd expect, is one of the bigger, more prestigious schools in New Zealand. It's produced a number of It's considered one of the. It's one of the schools that's considered a bit of a rugby star factory. Um, Good starting point for those who wish to move to professional rugby, sort of a deal. And anyway, the journo reckons he was going for a walk down this passageway with the principal of the school, all the notable alumni are pictures on this wall. The coach, coach principal's walking along pointing at this all black, that all black, that all black. As they're going along, you're going to notice the picture of Sir Edmund Hillary. Is that Edmund Hillary? Principal's response. Yeah, he didn't make the first 15. So, ultimately, these guys' eyes, look, mate, you can be the first person to climb Everest. Good on you. But you didn't make the first 15. I think that'll tell you pretty much, again, a whole stack. About how they view rugby in New Zealand. Now, I've done it. Yep. Okay. Very thin. 37 and 8. That's pretty much the attitude they have, yeah, mate. And you gotta say, wow. Wow. I know that I played with a guy who he'd been in the second 15 at one of the big colleges, and the names of the guys in the first 15 are like, yeah, rightio. I think he played. I think he made the occasional appearance in the first 15, but I think there was. And you probably wouldn't necessarily know the. I'm about to trot out, but there was Dow, Patrick. He's a big name, All Blacks. They're in the first 15, so if you're playing second 15 even, you're still doing all right. This point might not be an All Black. I guess if that's your biggest failing, gee. Now, next. Ooh, good. You're doing very well. This is actually a very cool detail they've got on these wheel areas. I guess that's what they've got to do, really. Why not having an interior? But that is actually pretty cool. Now, those, however, dark, light color. colour. I was never eligible for it, mate. Um, there's two nations I could have played for. One was the Wallabies. The other would be England. Um, my family's from England. However, look, I think one of the biggest problems I had about going further in or higher up the tree in rugby was that I was also a rampaging party animal. And whilst it certainly didn't stop me performing as a player, I dare say selectors may have had some issue with the yeah. Once upon a time, it flew. Would have been not an eye, not an eye would have been raised, eyebrow would have been raised. But as you get to a certain point in time, they start getting a bit more, be a bit of a naughty boy for them. What can I tell you? Had a great time. I was also heavily involved in music at the time as well. I was in a band and I was gigging hard as well. Kind of a bit focused on that. Yeah, look, me and my friends at uni were, well, best way I can put this to you, Animal House. Yeah, great time. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Fantastic. Yeah, looking back, if I'd been a bit more sensible, I would have just mellowed out and focused on my rugby and got a band, having a whale of a time and done. And I was making sure of that business too, I tell you. Um, ah, but hey, these are the joys of just, my understanding is what university was for. Um, so, alrighty. Oh, do a bit on picks and no, no, metal. Yeah. Um, Same sort of vein, largely as Megadeth, Metallica. Got very heavily into my technique. I was the bass player, and I got into my technique very heavily. Chunk that very quickly. And got into a lot of classical technique on bass. Because that's where it's at. Um, yeah. And look, properly utilised. Bass can be quite a marvellous instrument, vastly underrated. Probably got to apply something to do. But it's true. You don't. A lot of people think bass is just for chucking on. Well, look, there's a lot of new. Further away. I used to do bass solos and stuff. Where the heck? Partly because I enjoyed the attention. Partly because I enjoyed showing off my technique. So yeah, gotta say, that period of my life where I was playing in bands, and also I was playing rugby at the time, being a rampaging party animal on campus, great day. Now, maybe a bit of a look-see at these, but also some of that stuff I wanted to attend. This is the inside of the doors I suggest here. You can see what I'm pointing at. Look at those ones there are these, and I would suggest those handles go on the inside. To do that, I'd kind of like to paint them, or some of the bigger parts first. We'll get some paint to do that. That's not a biggie. There. Most of these, again, no biggie. A16. Yes, you did. That got announced yesterday. Look, he was a great player in his day. But yeah, car accident, fortunate business. It is an accident. Actually, that's something I wanted to check out. What the hell are these? Curious as much as anything. Is it possible that we don't need? But I thought so, but check it. I do know some things go on to brews that often aren't used because they're used being manufactured for another pitch. Very curious what these are. Yeah, right. Yes, he's most unfortunate. Pretty young. I think he was 46, and that's no age to be dying. No, these aren't for us. The D45s, we don't need to worry about them. Yeah. Well, look, there's a few bits here that I wouldn't mind getting painted with a few different colours before I continue. I'm going to take a break now and come back and get stuck into the Junkers and Messerschmitt. So, yeah, brekkie time. I'm doing my standard oats manoeuvre, except this time, rather than doing it with berries, I usually do. Hang on a moment. I'm having it with persimmon. You shall indeed see me in 2.5 hours, buddy. All right, thanks for watching as always, and I've just lent on something I painted, but I think it's dry anyway. Very good. Yes, I'll indeed be back in 2.5, and anybody else who's been watching, Papa, yep, thanks for dropping past. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And yes, well, see everybody in 2.5 hours, and we'll get on for more of the action and excitement that modelling brings. Catch you then.